Now let's look at ascending intervals. Previously, I gave you both pitches and you determined the distance between them. Now I'm giving you one pitch, the bottom pitch, and the interval, and then you notate the pitch above it. Here's our process. We're still thinking in terms of keys and scales. We're going to figure out the quantity first. So from F here up 4, 1, start counting on F, 1, 2, 3, 4, takes us to B. And now we have to make sure that that matches the key of F. Perfect intervals are present in both major and minor keys, so it doesn't matter if we use F major or F minor, but it needs to now match that key. So in this case, F major has a flat on B, which means that to make this a perfect fourth, I have to make it a B flat. If F major had a natural on B, then I could leave it as it was. Now for the next one, we have a major third on B. So I'm thinking in terms of B major. So I'm thinking the third note in the key of B is a D. And in B major, what is on D? A sharp, a flat, or nothing at all? Well, B major's key signature is a sharp key. It's got 5 sharps, F, C, G, D. D is one of those 5 sharps, which means to match B major, I have to put a sharp on that key. Now in this case I have minor, G minor sixth. So first I can count my sixth up and I find an E. And in the key of G minor, what are my notes? Are they sharp, are they flat, or are they natural? Well, in G minor, it's a flat key, and I have 2 flats. They're B flat and E flat. E flat is one of those flats. So to match G minor, I have to put a flat right there. Now I have a major seventh on E. So I was thinking in G minor a second ago. Now I'm thinking in E major for this one. So in E major, my 7th note is a D. And I think, what is the key signature for E major? The key signature for E major is 4 sharps, F, C, G, and D. D is one of those sharps. So to match a major pattern, a major interval, a major key, I have to put a sharp there so that the D sharp in E major is present in this as well. Now I have a minor 7th built on F. So I think, what is the 7th note in F? It's some kind of E. Now how do I figure out what kind of E it is? I think in terms of F minor. And what is my key signature for F minor? F minor has 4 flats. Those flats are B, E. Well, I can stop there because E is flat in F minor. See how important it is for us to know our key signatures completely by memory so that we can find these out almost instantly. You know exactly what quality the interval is. If you don't know your key signature and you're lost and you're searching and you're thinking about it, it's going to make every single thing that we're doing so much more difficult, so much more frustrating, and take so much more time. Let's continue on with the second line. We're starting with a C, and we have a major second. Now, we talked about this before. Major and minor seconds are so easy to count, we don't even need to think in terms of keys because it's just either a half step or a whole step away. So a minor second is a half step. And a half step above C is not C sharp. A half step above C is D flat. Now, why does it have to be D flat and not C sharp? Because this is a second. If it were some kind of first, it could be spelled with some kind of C. But because it's a type of second, it has to be spelled with some kind of D. No matter what kind of second it is, it has to be spelled with a D. And so in this case, to make a minor second, which is a half step, from C to D, I have to say C to D flat. And as an interesting little note, when the notes are staggered like that, frequently the higher one will be to the right, and the notes are put together, and then the accidentals are put together. So you're actually going to notate it like that, where there's the C and the D that are pretty much touching, and then the flat is right in front of the C there. But it's still lined up on the line of the D. This is also important to note that you should line up your sharps and flats with the notes, because if you're in the habit of making them kind of sort of close to the note, but not exactly on where the note is, and you get to something like this, it gets very, very confusing. Let's move on. I'm on a B here, and I have a perfect fifth, which means that I find a fifth above B is the letter F. And because it's perfect, it doesn't matter which one I pick, B major or B minor. B major's key signature is 5 sharps. B minor's key signature is 2 sharps. It doesn't matter how many sharps it has, because the very first sharp we add in any key with sharps is an F. So I know that F has to be sharp. So that is a perfect fifth, from B to F sharp. All right, now let's look here. We've got a minor third starting on C. So I know it's going to be some form of E. And I know C major is all natural. So C to E would be a major third, and a minor third is smaller than a major third, so I have to decrease it. I can't change my C, because that's the given note, so I have to change my E to E flat. Almost done, just 2 more here. We've got, a missing note. Let me add that in, so sorry about that. We've got a major sixth from A. So I count up from A. What's my 6th note? 6th note would be F. And then I think of the key signature of A major. Well, A major's key signature has sharps. And again, we already talked about F is the first sharp. So if there's any sharps, F is going to be sharp. F sharp there. Major 6th. Matches A major's key signature. And our last one, we've got a major 2nd going up from E. Again, you could use the key signature method here, but I would just count whole steps and half steps. E up a whole step. So you're thinking E up a half step is not E sharp, but F. E to F is a half step. And now from F up a half step, that's F sharp. And just like I showed you in that example over there, when they're that close, you're going to stagger it just like that. Again, I'm thinking in terms of, in the key of the bottom note, what is the top note? And in this one, some people like interval notation even better than interval analysis, because you already know whether you're working with the major key or the minor key. But ultimately, it really depends on, do you know your keys?